Hi, you're listening to the Restaurant Marketing Innovator Judging Day, and we're here at Waterloo BrewDog, and we're in the podcast studio. First time for doing this, and this is the absolute first time for Restaurant Marketer and Innovator. I'm going to introduce my two guests. We're talking about a couple of our campaigns today. So we're talking about Campaign of the Year and the winner there, and Best New Product Development. I've got Megan Ong from Mr. Yum, who's one of our sponsors, and Andy Shaw, who's at WiseTiger, who is one of our long-term supporters and an agency partner. So first of all, Megan, let me introduce you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you guys do.
Oh, hi, I'm Megan. I lead marketing at Mr. Yum. We are a hospitality growth engine, so we do QR code mobile ordering, as well as a marketing CRM for hospitality. Previous to Mr. Yum, I worked in hotel marketing for 6.5 years, then was at Sessions Market running branding for dark kitchens.
Great. For those of you that don't know, we've managed to get this little thing going on where we can kind of click, because we haven't got an audience of 6,000, unfortunately. But I'm sure that you're listening at home and there's more than 6,000, but yes. And over to you, Andy. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Andy Shaw. I'm from WiseTiger. We're a digital marketing agency, and we design and develop all kinds of digital marketing aspects for our clients, from websites all the way through to digital marketing campaigns, as well as CRM integration and data collection for driving CRM performance.
Great, you get one of those two. There we go. Thank you. So first of all, let's ask both of you, how have you found today? So I think it's first time judging for both of you for the main awards. We've got 12 awards this year, and the number of entries has been incredible. So Megan, over to you first. How have you found it? Anything that really took you by surprise?
It's been a really fun and interesting day meeting other marketeers and kind of discussing which campaigns we've seen happening in the past year. It's great to see some really innovative campaigns from both small hospitality venues, just in the UK, to some international brands. So I've really enjoyed discussing it and kind of viewing the entries from different perspectives.
Awesome. And how about you, Andy?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it today. Meeting a lot of new and interesting people as well within the sector has been quite a highlight, but also the submissions. Some of them have been really inspiring. And the setting's really lovely as well. It's been a nice, relaxed day, a lot less intense than I thought it would be, but it's been busy without doubt. It's been non-stop, but it's been fun too.
That's great. I think it's fantastic to come back every year and just see how incredible the sector innovates and adapts and continues to do such superb work. So it's good to be back and good to be here once again. Key kind of, I guess, more general question in terms of, before we get on to the two individual categories that your team judged, can you maybe tell us a little bit about what you think makes life easier for you as a judge to make the decision? I mean, is there something that you think, well, if people just did this, it gives them a much better chance? Because that's the thing I get asked every year is, how do I win? So that's what I'm asking you. How should people win if they're listening to this podcast next year?
I think the standout submissions are the ones that really kind of meet the brief of what was expressed when submitting the awards, the outline on the website. Clearly identifying the objective that was trying to be achieved in the first place, the execution being well communicated over quite a short opportunity of 4 pages to be submitted, and then results. Results really when they were focused on how they proved that the objective was met, how the campaigns or how each category kind of like drove towards the campaign objectives rather than just sort of generalised results. So some of the entries did provide some results, but it wasn't easily to relate them directly to, say, the campaigns, which was one of the categories that we judged. So a clear execution of that within the 4 pages makes it easy as well. There were a few submissions that actually did sneak over the pages, and that just makes it longer for us to try to draw out the information. So those ones that won tended to be the ones that managed to do it within the 4 pages as well, for sure.
I think one of the things I hear as well from generally listening to the judges is that actually answering what you've been asked to answer is a really useful starting point, right? Yeah. I mean, there's very clear categorization of how you should answer these and what you're going to be scored on, and therefore just answering what you've been asked to is a good start. How about for you?
Yeah, I agree with Andy. I think a big thing as well is how do you balance the visuals of a lot of these campaigns, especially creatively, as well with the copy? Because sometimes you can write a really great entry, but if you don't show how you have executed it, it's really hard to actually have a full picture. So for example, we've seen some great entries where I've actually seen it in real life, but then the entry that they've submitted didn't show like how it came to life on social really well or like out of home, and that just doesn't make it as strong an entry as others.
It's worthwhile saying that if you can have a designed entry, it definitely makes a difference, right?
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Cool. So thanks for that. Hopefully that means that we're going to have more prospective winners next year because they'll all get everything perfect and it will look and read incredibly. So let's talk about the two categories that you guys judged. And for background of anyone listening, we have about 20 judges. They're split into 3 or 4 groups, and everyone makes sure that there's no conflict of interest. There's nothing that they've worked on personally. We try and make sure that there's super above board and that everything is really well judged. And you guys judged Campaign of the Year, which is our biggest category. It's always the one that gets the most number of entries, and also Best New Product Development. So let's start on Campaign of the Year. So what makes Campaign of the Year stand out for you as a category? What are you looking for?
I think one of the big things we discussed was creatively, what came to life really well, which had really clear objectives. I think sometimes when a campaign is trying to achieve too many things, it kind of gets lost a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what was really impactful in terms of meaningful results. So it's not something that's not just like a hype campaign, but something where they're really reaching an audience that they can build a long-term relationship with.
Or even solving a problem
Yeah,
for the business
agreed.
as well, where it's clear that there is a commercial challenge that is trying to be overcome or improved, and applying the campaign to those kind of objectives makes a strong difference.
Is it worth saying that I get the sense that if you provide commercial results rather than just kind of marketing results, that's probably also really important?
Yeah, really. Marketing always struggles to try to be relevant to the commercial results that are trying to be attained. And so any kind of campaign or any kind of product development or whatever kind of category it is that talks and speaks towards the commercial results is going to be a strong, compelling thing. And it just shows that true thought has gone through right from the executive level through to the execution level as well within any kind of area.
That's great. So should we get on with this Campaign of the Year and let us know who was the winner this year?
So for Campaign of the Year, the winner was Yard Sale. We found that it was clear in their objectives. Their submission clearly showed the objectives and also clearly overachieved in the results that they were trying to achieve. There was impactful creative content distributed throughout all of the relevant channels to the target audience. There was also clever synchronization between, they worked with an influencer, and there was clever synchronization between the influencer's personality platform as well as their own platforms as well. So good, strong crossover. And you could also see beyond the results that they built or managed to build a long-term affinity with the targets, with the acquisition of those new customers and new audiences that would go way beyond the campaign as well. So it had a long-term impact on their business.
And this was a tough category, right? So Megan, have you got any other thoughts as to what made it really stand out?
I think what stood out with this campaign is that it was really clear, it was creative, it was visual. It showed all the visuals, but the big thing was that it it built community. And I think some of these campaigns, they're creatively really bold, but it might be, what does it say about your brand? What does it link back to the brand? You know, and I think this one with Yard Sale, they're really good at doing stuff like collaborations and always partnering with people that almost are like the forefront of who Yard Sale is, and that's what I felt is why this campaign really stood out. And some of the winners, or those that were really in our top, we talked about, they really spoke to the brand that they were advertising.
That's awesome. So it's that kind of brand relevance and making sure you kind of stick to what it is you're meant to be doing and what your customers are maybe expecting within your brand, but pushing the boundary a little bit.
Exactly.
Amazing. Thank you. So the second one that you guys were judging was Best New Product Development. Again, a competitive category, and it's quite an interesting one we've added in last year, so second year for this. We really felt like, of course, we get that promotion's a big part of marketing, but as is pricing, as is product development, and so on. So for us, it was the reason that we added this into the mix here. So let's ask who won this one. Maybe over to you, Meg.
Yep, so we chose Pizza Express's pizza wraps, and the reasons behind it was really bold, innovative to crack a huge category entry point challenge, which was, lunch. And one of the key challenges they had is how do we not impact the dinner traffic? It produced a lighter, healthier alternative to regular pizza, promising results. And one big thing for us was really great use of research and insights leading to data, to the idea. Promising results and, opportunities are big to extend the range in the same platform. So other flavored wraps.
Listening into some of your discussion here, because again, a very robust discussion, and we can thank you all for that robustness. That idea of having really clear research, defining insight, defining action, rather than just a great idea was really imperative for this. Would you agree, Andy?
Yeah, absolutely. And the winning submission as well also got across how clearly the product was tested as well throughout the whole process. So it was taking initial insight and continuing to do more insight, more research along the product development life cycle before taking it to market and launching it in the restaurants. It was also creating more of a portable product as well from a lunchtime perspective. So it was a bit of a departure from the usual kind of products that Pizza Express have. So it took a bit of a risk there as well, and I think it's paying off by the look of it.
And it's interesting because it's a big brand, right? I think often we think about really cool and interesting product being done by more nimble, smaller players, but I think it's really great that we've seen a big brand nail that and really bring something to market that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you almost know how much more difficult it is when it's a bigger brand and they're taking it nationally, right? So that's kind of even more commendable at times.
Yeah.
Great. I think we're probably about time to wrap up. But is there any final thoughts as to how you found the day in general? Any advice to anybody listening?
If you ever get a chance to get involved yourselves in the future, to anybody who's listening, then it's a thoroughly enjoyable day. I've enjoyed meeting all new people here as well. But to all those that are looking to maybe submit, we had a few submissions this year to me that felt like they were maybe a bit too early in terms of their timing. Some where new campaigns were only just recently launched, and it'd be great to see them go again next year with more results, more things that they can actually show to prove how the campaign has worked. So making sure it's clear from the objectives through to the results and trying to make those results be tangible in the context of commercial impact as well is important.
And it's worthwhile remembering that you can enter anything that's been done in the last year, but run within the last year. So if you have just launched something prior to the entry point and it runs into the next year, it's okay to enter it in either year. So it's definitely okay.
There were some really impressive submissions that were submitted like that we were all very impressed with, but you could just sort of see it was a little bit too early to tell the impact yet.
Just too quick wanting that trophy, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, and you're just too excited by the creatives.
I got one button in, so that was good.
That was good.
Anything final from you, Megan?
No, I agree with Andy. I'm really excited for the event in January now, so looking forward to it.
Yeah. Great, well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.